Digital Storytelling with Malcolm X by Ammar Haidari. For those of you who don't know, Malcolm X was an African American leader and a prominent figure in the Nation of Islam. Malcolm X articulated concepts of race and pride and black nationalism in the 1950s and 1960s. He was born on May 19, 1925 in Omaha, Nebraska. When he was just a boy, his father was killed by the Black Legion. Having 7 siblings, his mother became extremely sick and would attend a mental sickness facility. Young Malcolm would go from foster home to foster home in different parts of the USA, until he would finally seek residence in Boston, USA with his stepsister. Malcolm X's father, Earl Little, was murdered by the Black Legion. The Black Legion was a secret vigilante white supremacist organization which splintered off the Ku Klux Klan. They were originally created so they could guard high-rank Ku Klux Klan officials. They tied Earl Little onto a railroad, and then the rest is history. Their reasoning was simply because Malcolm X's father was African American. In Toronto, Ontario in 1965, Malcolm X was interviewed by CBC. During this interview in Toronto, Malcolm X carried away some cobwebs of misconception and his beliefs. He was accused of advocating violence within the Islamic Negro community, but fixed the issue on air by discussing his belief system. He was approached on the topic of Elijah Muhammad when Malcolm was having some tension with him. Malcolm discussed how he left Nation of Islam due to the rather personal issues with Elijah Muhammad. These issues would later on be the lead reasoning of Malcolm X's death. In the early 1960s, Malcolm began to develop a more outspoken philosophy than that of his mentor Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad started to believe that Malcolm had become too powerful, thus finding him a threat. After Malcolm X's departure from the Negro Islamic community, he decided to visit Mecca, Islam's holiest land. He returned to America as El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz. Over the years, Malcolm became more and more influential within the Afro-American community. On February 21, 1965, Malcolm X was shot to death by Nation of Islam while speaking at a rally in New York. He was assassinated by the same group he once promoted, and all by the hands of the man he once looked up to. 51 years later, Malcolm X is extremely relevant in our society and in pop culture. Artists like Beyoncé referred to Malcolm X in music. Kendrick Lamar, a successful rapper who recently won 5 Grammys and was competing against himself in 2 categories, referred to Malcolm X in multiple songs and often raps about him. People like Kendrick Lamar share the same beliefs and ideologies as Malcolm did and continue on Malcolm's fight for black power. Many people quote Malcolm today also. There's no doubt that Malcolm X is extremely significant in hip-hop culture in the 21st century.